by TVFCU.
If you are looking for a fun girls retreat, either with your best friend, maybe your daughter-in-law, we have got the perfect thing for you because Rebecca Balch is back on the show with us. She has Yo-SUP, which is stand-up paddleboarding.
Yes.
But she is bringing a ladies retreat to the banks of Soddy Daisy next weekend, right? May 31st?
Yes, it starts this Friday, or next Friday, May 31st, going through Sunday. Several different options if you want to just come for Friday evening or just Saturday evening. Each evening we will have cocktails and then paddleboard yoga on the water and then a nice dinner. But if you do stay overnight, each morning we will have a sunrise yoga session on the top deck on the lake. And then on Saturday, we'll take a long paddle up into Sail Creek.
There are a lot of people who might be thinking, okay, listen, I love the idea of a girls' retreat, but I'm not so sure how I'm going to be on doing the paddling. But you've got all other things kind of encompassed in it. You've got massages for people, right?
Yes.
You've got yoga,
Yes.
like you mentioned, on the deck.
Yes. The extended paddle, I do ask that people are somewhat experienced in paddling
Okay.
to do the all-day Saturday paddle. Not all-day Saturday, but several hours. But the paddleboard yoga, I teach that class. And many times have people who have never been on a paddleboard before, maybe never even done yoga before. But we will be anchored right there by the dock, off of the shore, just a few feet off the shore, and anybody can come to that. Anyone could come to the evening paddleboard yoga, see what that's like, have a nice dinner, hang out with friends, make new friends.
I was talking with a couple of people just yesterday, actually, and different times. And both people, though, were talking about how time is our most precious commodity these days. We don't give ourselves much of it. And this will be a way to come give yourself that time and drown out the noise.
It will be, yeah. It's such a serene location. I started looking at different Airbnbs, and this one I just absolutely fell in love with. The house is beautiful, the accommodations are nice, but just the water. And the whole end of the house faces the water with lots of windows. So even if you're indoors, you feel like you're on the water. The deck, or dock, has a top deck, and then a lower area that has a little screened-in gazebo, the area that's shaded. So if the sun's a little bright that day, we can kind of hang out in the shade and still be on the water. After the long paddle on Saturday, I did mention that there will be chair massages. So I have a licensed massage therapist coming to provide chair massages. I'm not going to be doing the chair massages. Only the professionals.
She'll be receiving one.
I will need one after all of the planning for this event. We are almost booked for the overnight stays.
Oh,
we
wow.
only have a few spots, but there really isn't a limit to how many people can come either for the day Saturday to paddle and or for the evening to do the paddleboard yoga and just to hang out.
And there might be some people watching who would love to do it, but their schedules conflict, but they think, gosh, I really want to learn how to do the paddleboarding. That's always interested me.
Yes.
When you started doing the paddleboarding, from what I remember, you just kind of fell into it. It was an unexpected find for you.
It was. I had not, gosh, I started 14 years ago. And I was taking yoga. I grew up a lake kid. My parents had a boat, still have a boat. My brother has a boat. We're a boat family. And so someone mentioned doing yoga on the water. Well, I'm like, that's marrying two of the things I love. And so I took my first paddleboard yoga class 14 years ago. Absolutely fell in love with it, bought my own board, got certified in yoga, and it's been a wonderful journey. And I think the best part of what I do is introducing new people to paddleboarding, and some people think they can't do it, but I think if you have the determination, it's quite easy and very fun.
Do you find that once you've got the fear aside, because I'm sure people go into it with some trepidation in the beginning, but once that's put aside, do you just kind of get lost in your own self when you're on that board?
Oh, you do. And I always say paddleboard yoga can be whatever you want it to be. It can be like riding a bike. You know, people get out, they train for the Ironmans, they do the endurance races, and there are paddleboard races. I don't do that. I tried that, but it's a lot of work, a lot of training. But you can be a very intense race person, or you can just get out for a casual paddle. You can do the yoga. Some people just go out half a mile from a dock and anchor and just enjoy the water, just floating,
Sure.
and it's absolutely
The
beautiful.
buoyancy of it. But if you're going to be able to do this one, and you do have some knowledge going in, to take that long paddle up to Sail Creek, I bet that's going to be beautiful.
It is. I went and I had a little bit of reservation about paddling up the main channel of the river. I've paddled on the river many times around Coolidge Park, McClellan Island, that area. And I go out on the lake a lot and go into the main channel, and you don't really feel a current. So I thought, what will the current be like? So I went this past week and paddled up. As soon as I got on my board, the wind carried me upstream. So the wind on a paddleboard, because you're floating on the water, is actually stronger than the current. So I had no problem paddling up to Sail Creek. Boom, I was there. It was just beautiful. Paddled back into Sail Creek. There's a little marina with sailboats. So I dreamed of owning a sailboat.
Maybe that'll be next year.
But when it's too windy to paddleboard, maybe I could always sail.
Well, you better act quickly, because as she said, the overnight spots are filling up quickly. The easiest thing is to find her on Facebook. Don't forget to put the dash in, so it's Yo-SUP.
Yo-SUP.
But she also has a website, which is
Yo-SUP.com.
pretty simple. Have a great time.
Thank you, Julie.
Tonight, a beautiful doctor murdered, her husband heartbroken.
Everyone just wanted to know who and why.
An investigation that takes one surprising turn after another.
Which is for us a nightmare.
Dateline tonight, 9/8 Central.